Yeah, just for us, incredibly excited to be back home, be here at Davis Wade. I think as everybody has seen, we've gone on the road the last 2 weeks, played in incredible environments, and I can't say it enough. Our guys are incredibly excited to be at home in Davis Wade, welcoming back our 2014 team that had such a special season. So we've got a lot to be excited about in front of us, and can't wait to see our fan base, man, back home.
Coach, just before you got in here, they announced that Michael Van Buren named the SEC Freshman of the Week. And kind of your response to that and what you've seen from him these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Mike, I think I talked about it a little bit post-game. Proud of how he answered the bell and answered to the challenges that happened inside the game. You know, I think if you talk to Mike today, he's going to be incredibly aware of how much better we need to play at the quarterback position. And he did some great things. He played with toughness. He found ways to get himself out of some bad positions after having a really, really bad start and a slow start, to then put together some drives to give us a chance to get back in the game. So proud of how resilient he was. But again, like, the message is we have to play better. We've got to play cleaner. We've got to start faster to give ourselves a chance, all right, to feel different in the locker room. And nobody understands that right now more than Mike does.
When you look back to, you know, after the Toledo game, after the Florida game, you had those 3 tough ball games, you have your quarterback go out and all that. Do you feel like this team has a bit of a new life? You know, they have a new quarterback out there leading, and it just seems like they play with a lot more sense of urgency the last 2 games. I mean, what's kind of your take on what they've done at Texas and Georgia and kind of where they are right now?
I think it's our guys just sticking true to the process and, like, concerning ourselves with us every day. Finding a way to get better today, finding a way to be better tomorrow than we were today and we were yesterday. And as simple as that sounds, that is the only stress that we have. And finding a way on Saturday to be the best that we've been all year long. That is the constant message. And being exactly who we're supposed to be, not trying to be anybody else, not comparing ourselves to anybody else, but truly have the best Monday we can possibly have, and then do the same thing tomorrow. And with that, that's how you try to flip it and control what you can control to create a different outcome.
Obviously, a lot goes into it besides the corners and the safeties, but when you look back at the tape the last couple of games and the pass defense and a lot of wide open receivers for the other team, what is sticking out to you?
Again, like Georgia on Saturday made some incredible plays down the field and won some one-on-ones where we've got to be in a position to stay on top of routes and plaster routes. They won some one-on-ones. They did. We've got to make sure we're doing everything we can to not give them layups. And some situational things where we had opportunities from a communication standpoint to get off the field, that's where we've got to be able to go get off the field. And then at the point of attack and then some of our rush one-on-ones, finding a way to create some pressure on the QB. So it's, you know, it's the front end and the back end. It's all of us together to find ways to keep them from creating all these explosive plays.
How is Seth Davis doing with his rehab and his recovery? And any timeline for him?
We don't have a timeline on him, just still rehabbing.
You've had a handful of freshmen that have turned into pretty big contributors. Some of them, you know, because of injuries like Mike and maybe Luke Work, but, you know, also some other guys like, you know, Mario Craver and McClendon. You know, with those group of freshmen who are able to be contributors right away and impactful ones, you know, what kind of separates them in order to, you know, get to that spot? Their
daily process, their everyday commitment to trying to get better, and then when they have the ability to make the play, making the play. I think those are the things that you see out of these guys nonstop, finding ways to just get better. Another young guy that has played his butt off on special teams is Stonka. He's created this role for himself on teams because of his process and being incredibly committed just to getting better every single day, controlling what he can control. So he's going to continue to push in that area as well as being able to play and spell on offense. But those young guys, proud of what they're doing.
Early thoughts on Texas A&M, just reviewing some film from them. I know they're coming off a bye.
Yeah, a football team that's playing really, really good. They're playing complementary football. They're playing really good on all three phases. You look at them defensively, statistically, as good as we've played all year from a point total that they're giving up, how they're playing at inside the core, but specifically at the line of scrimmage on the defensive side of the ball is as good as anybody we've played, without a doubt. So offensively, the QB comes back last week and plays the best game he's played all year long before they've gone into the bye week, and did a really good job of distributing the ball, was really accurate, and they've got a really good run game to go with it. So we got a top 15 team coming to town, another great challenge, great opponent.
I know Lanier made the statement yesterday on social media regarding it. He provided a little bit of an explanation, but on the Smith touchdown on that play, I think it was early in the third quarter. Have you addressed that with him, and has he provided like some kind of rationale, maybe like some clarity for people who have seen that?
Yeah, I won't talk about specifics about Brilo and I's conversation, but absolutely we've addressed it, we've talked about it, and for him it's making sure that he doesn't allow the noise to seep into who he is, and making sure that everybody on our football team focuses on the things that are inside these walls, and for him, just knowing the expectation just to go out and make the next play. He's made a lot of plays for us. He'll continue to be a huge factor for us, and got a ton of confidence in Brilo to be able to bounce back and get done what we need him to get done.
Coach, it seemed like Saturday's game was the first time for Kelly Akari that we saw the guy that we saw in the spring game making plays down the field. Do you feel like he's finally hit his stride and has become a much bigger part of this offense?
I absolutely do. I look forward to him having a really big back half of the season. A guy that we had great expectations for. Obviously had the injury and is just now kind of getting back to who we thought he was going to be. So excited about what he'll be able to do for us.
You talked about Van Buren's play in that game, kind of out of the gates, a little shaky, but he really got it going in the second half. What was your message to him as the game went on? I saw early in the game you told him just go out there and have fun. Was it kind of the same thing in the locker room at halftime to get him to go out there and perform how he did?
Yeah, on that fifth series, he's able to connect on the big play to Rio, and then he makes a good play to Kelly for the touchdown right there to make it 13-10. That big completion was one that kind of got him going and gave him some confidence. And then just for him, man, being around his teammates and not sitting there thinking the entire time while he's on the sideline, but getting up and having energy and focusing on just what's next. So, again, for an 18-year-old going to that environment, struggle the way he did early, but be able to come out of it and play the way he did the last, back half of the game and then late in the second quarter, and that's exactly what you want to see as a coach. So, again, proud of him for that. Got to play cleaner, got to play better to give us a chance to win.
Obviously, as you mentioned in your opening statement, being back home this weekend with Texas A&M coming in, I know you want a big crowd and things in the stadium, but can you speak to just how much of an impact that makes for you guys whenever it's rocking and the cowbells are clanging?
I mean, there's nothing better. Again, our atmosphere and our energy is still unlike anywhere in America, and so for us, that will be a huge advantage for us on Saturday afternoon. Our guys want that, man. They need that. They can't wait to be back here at home. So, again, there's a bunch of excitement inside our building just because of the fact that we're able to be at home and be in Davis-Wade.
Also, being back home, you get a chance to host some recruits and things of that nature. I know that's important to kind of put a good product on the field with those folks. What's kind of your message to recruits, maybe not just in this class, but the next classes? Again,
understanding that there's a plan in place, and we're laying the foundation for something that to me is going to be incredibly special. I've said this, never been more convicted about where we're going, and the people that are inside this building, I think, understand that. They feel that we want different results. We need different results. That is the focus this week, is finding a way to go 1-0 and win a football game. But I think for young people, the connection, the vision, and where we're going, not necessarily where we are today, is those are things that they've bought into and will continue to.
Jeff, what have you thought kind of this gauntlet? As you're clearly building this program, and there's been a ton of progress the last few weeks, but what are your thoughts on kind of building it while also having to play this absolute gauntlet of a schedule? The number 1 Texas, Georgia. Now, obviously, it doesn't stop with number 15 Texas A&M. What kind of variable does the strength of schedule bring to your building process?
Yeah, I think, again, for us, you learn exactly who you are and where you're at every single step of the way. And so understanding that inside this league, you get to do it with the best and against the best every single Saturday. And as a competitor, man to man, that's exactly what you want. And so for us to be able to go out and just find a way to have a happy locker room, go 1-0, man, that's our focus. That's the intent. But so many lessons have been learned over the last couple of weeks, and that won't change.
You mentioned in your opening statement about the 2014 team coming back. I know obviously you're new here, but how much are you sort of in touch with the history of the program? Have you talked with some guys from that team, talked with some of the guys in the current team about the history of the program and what it means to have those guys back on?
Yeah, we do. We talk a ton about history of the program. We talk a ton about, the guys that came before us and how for us and our football team, we are truly keepers of the jersey. I'm a keeper of the seat right now. We want to fight like heck to leave it better than how we found it. And so that's important to us. And understanding the guys that came before us, they sat in these chairs, and they did it in a way that, man, makes Mississippi State incredibly proud. So every single Thursday we actually watch a highlight reel of the guys that are in the NFL. That's how we start every Thursday team meeting, again, so that they can see those guys that sat in these chairs before them. And I think that's important as you continue to build this thing the right way. I want to make sure that we give credit to those that came before us.
Anything else? John?
I know obviously that team coming in, that's going to be obviously a great recruiting opportunity. One of those big members I've noticed from that team has a bye this week in Dak Prescott. Any word on if he's going to be here?
No, not sure if Dak will make it back or not sure. Hope so. He'll have plenty going on, but hope he's able to make it back for sure.
Last one, Sam.
Just quick clarification on Lanier. He said online that he didn't play the rest of the game because of a concussion.
Yeah.
Was it because of that, or was it because of the play, or mixture?
And I won't, again, the specifics part of it and the injury, won't speak on that. Brilo and ours conversation, and Coach Barnes, Coach Bell, we've had great communication. There's been great dialogue. Expecting Brilo to make a full recovery and be ready to roll this weekend.
And do you have any update on Travion Williams when he got injured at the end of the game there?
I do not. That'll be Wednesday night.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.